Egghead Arc Summary. Part 1, Arrival at Egghead Island. Welcome to the future. After the Straw Hat Pirates' dramatic victory over Kaido and the liberation of Wano, the seas grow more dangerous and the world moves into chaos. But the crew sets sail once again, this time to an island unlike anything they've ever seen. Their destination, Egghead Island, a mysterious land shrouded in secrets and technology far beyond anything in the current world. From the very first moment, Egghead feels different. The sea itself is patrolled by massive mechanical sea beasts, artificial creatures created for defense. The skies are filled with hovering drones, while the climate shifts unnaturally from one extreme to another, controlled by man-made weather machines. For a pirate crew used to islands steeped in history, war, and tradition, Egghead is a glimpse into a world that shouldn't exist yet. A world 500 years in the future. At the heart of this incredible place is the elusive and legendary genius, Dr. Vegapunk. Until now, Vegapunk has only been mentioned in whispers across the seas, known as the man responsible for numerous scientific breakthroughs, from the creation of pacifistas to unlocking the secrets of sea stone to modifying Bartholomew Kuma into a cyborg. But no one's actually met him until now. When Luffy, Chopper, Jinbe, and Jewelry Bonney, a supernova with her own secrets, are separated from the crew, they find themselves exploring the island's strange facilities. Holograms appear out of nowhere, solid ground vanishes underfoot, and even food can be printed out of thin air. They eventually cross paths with a massive, violent woman in cyberpunk armor, introducing herself as Vegapunk. Shocked and confused, Luffy and the others struggle to believe it. Vegapunk is supposed to be a man, right? And that's when the truth comes out. Vegapunk has split his consciousness into 6 distinct satellites, each with their own number, personality, and purpose. They are Shaka, 01, the good one, who operates with cold logic and reason. Lilith, 2, the evil one, full of mischief and aggression. Edison and Pythagoras, 2 geniuses dedicated to inventing and analyzing. York, obsessed with satisfying base needs like hunger and sleep. And Atlas, the emotional and impulsive satellite who believes in action first. These satellites handle all of Vegapunk's functions while his original body, the Stella, remains hidden deep inside the lab. This division of mind allows him to work faster than any human alive, but it's also made him a threat to the world government. And that threat hasn't gone unnoticed. Word spreads fast. The world government, fearful of the knowledge Vegapunk now possesses, secrets tied to the Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, and the true origins of Devil Fruits, has made a chilling decision. Vegapunk must be silenced permanently. Enter CP0, the world government's lethal secret ops unit. Rob Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy are dispatched to eliminate Vegapunk. This isn't a warning mission, it's a kill order. But they're not just facing a rogue scientist. They're walking into a storm of pirate emperors, cyborgs, and revolutionary truths. As the Straw Hat crew begins to understand the magnitude of Egghead's secrets, a realization dawns. This is no longer just another island on the Grand Line. Egghead is a battlefield of ideology, technology, and truth. And Luffy? He's about to stand in the middle of a war between the old world and the one trying to break free. What ancient secrets will Vegapunk reveal? Why is Bonney so desperate to find him? And what happens when a Yonko and an Admiral collide on the same battlefield? Stick around for Part 2, only on Everythingin1, where we dive deeper into Vegapunk's hidden truths. One presents One Piece Egghead Arc Summary. Part 2, Forbidden Knowledge, the truth behind Devil Fruits. Egghead Island isn't just a technological marvel. Beneath its sleek machines, digital constructs, and futuristic inventions lies something even more dangerous. Truth. Truth that has been buried, erased, and guarded for centuries by the world government. And at the center of it all stands Dr. Vegapunk, the world's most brilliant mind, and now its most hunted. As Luffy and his crew begin to interact with the 6 Vegapunk satellites, Shaka, the logical and composed first satellite, chooses to confide in them. What he reveals sends shockwaves through everything we thought we knew about the world of One Piece. The focus turns to one of the most mysterious elements in the series, Devil Fruits. Since the beginning of their journey, the Straw Hats, and every pirate, marine, and revolutionary have encountered these fruits that grant incredible powers in exchange for the ability to swim. But their true origin has always remained unclear, until now. Shaka explains a radical theory developed by Vegapunk himself. Devil fruits are the physical manifestation of human desire. Each fruit represents a dream someone once had, a desire to be stronger, to fly, to become light, to transform, or even to control elements. Over generations, these desires somehow crystallized into reality, taking the form of fruits imbued with supernatural powers. But these abilities, being unnatural, come with a cost. The sea, the embodiment of nature itself, rejects them. It's why devil fruit users lose their ability to swim. It's not science as we know it. It's something deeper, something that challenges the very fabric of existence. Luffy, as the wielder of the mythical Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika, now understands that his power isn't just physical, it's ideological. A fruit born from the deepest desire for freedom and laughter. That revelation elevates him from a simple pirate to a symbol of rebellion. But the devil fruits aren't the only ancient truth Vegapunk has discovered. Vegapunk has been researching relics and ruins from the Void Century, a lost era of history that the world government has tried to erase entirely. Among these mysteries are the ancient weapons, the ancient kingdom, and the real reason why the world government was formed in the first place. The scientist now knows too much, and now the government knows he knows. This is why CP0 is here. Their mission, erase Vegapunk from existence. Not just the man, all 6 satellites and every trace of his knowledge. But things don't go according to plan. Luffy, learning of the assassination attempt, does what he always does. He throws himself into the fire to protect those unjustly targeted. And then there's Bonney. Her connection to Vegapunk runs deep. We learn that she's not here by accident. She has personal stakes. Her father is Bartholomew Kuma, the former warlord who was turned into a mindless cyborg slave by Vegapunk and the government. Bonney demands answers and possibly revenge. As tension rises and the air thickens with betrayal, science, and war, the Straw Hat Pirates are caught in the middle of a powder keg, one spark away from detonation. In Part 3 of the Egghead Arc, the lines are drawn. The assassins arrive. The revolutionaries move. And Admiral Kizaru makes his grand entrance. The past meets the present, and a battle erupts that will echo across the seas. Don't miss it. Everythingin1 will be back with Part 3, where chaos explodes and alliances are tested on the shores of the future. Let me know when you're ready for Part 3. Everythingin1 presents One Piece Egghead Arc Summary. Part 3, CP0's arrival, assassins, secrets, and a father's pain. The peace of Egghead Island was never going to last. As Dr. Vegapunk's truths begin to unravel, so does the illusion of safety. A storm brews both on the island and beyond its futuristic walls. The world government has made its move, and the gloves are off. The assassination unit CP0 finally reaches the island's borders. On board their sleek ship are 3 of the most dangerous agents in the government's arsenal. Rob Lucci, cold and ruthless with his awakened Zoan powers. Kaku, a deadly swordsman with a giraffe twist. And Stussy, the enigmatic and poised spy who seems to be more than she appears. Their mission is clear and brutal: terminate Vegapunk and all 6 satellites, leaving no trace behind. But Egghead Island isn't unguarded. Its advanced defenses kick in, deploying laser cannons, bubble shields, and pacifista seraphim, young, cloned versions of warlords like Mihawk and Kuma, fused with Lunarian DNA and enhanced with modern weaponry. They're faster, stronger, and nearly unstoppable. Even CP0, seasoned veterans of Black Ops warfare, are thrown off balance by their resistance. Meanwhile, within the core of the island, the emotional tension reaches its breaking point. Jewelry Bonney confronts Dr. Vegapunk, not as a pirate, but as a daughter. Her pain is raw, her voice trembling, with a mix of rage and grief. She demands to know, why did you turn my father into a weapon? Why did you erase Bartholomew Kuma's mind? Vegapunk, for all his genius, has no easy answers. He didn't want to hurt Kuma, but the truth is far more complicated. Kuma volunteered. He agreed to the irreversible modifications, and Vegapunk hints at something even more haunting. Kuma did it to protect someone. Or something, a secret mission, a hidden cause, something tied to the fate of the world. As Bonney fights back tears, she stumbles upon a hidden room. What she finds there is devastating. a recorded memory bubble preserved like a holographic sphere. It contains Kuma's last thoughts, his memories, his truth. But before she can view them, chaos erupts outside. Because the island is no longer a battlefield of ideas, it's now a war zone. The Straw Hats rally around Vegapunk. Luffy, never one to back down, stands toe-to-toe with Lucci once again, a rematch from Eni's lobby that nobody expected. But this time, Luffy isn't the same rubber boy from years ago. He's awakened. He's Joy Boy. He's Nika. The battle begins with explosive force as Luffy activates Gear 5, his form of godlike absurdity, bending reality with cartoonish physics and unstoppable energy. Lucci, now awakened himself, is no pushover. Their clash shakes the very foundation of Vegapunk's lab. And just when it seems things can't get worse, news comes in from the sea. An incoming ship, a new challenger. Admiral Kizaru is en route, and he's not coming alone. The world government isn't just sending assassins anymore. They're sending a fleet, because what's happening on Egghead isn't just a scientific dispute. It's a rebellion. Coming up in Part 4, Kizaru lands, a massive clash ignites, Kuma's past is revealed, and the true endgame of Egghead begins to unfold. Don't miss it, simmering under the surface finally ignites. As the Straw Hat Pirates defend Dr. Vegapunk from the deadly CP0 agents, the skies above Egghead grow darker. Not with clouds, but with the shadows of incoming warships. The world government has escalated the situation. It's no longer a covert assassination mission. It's a full-scale military invasion. At the center of it all is Admiral Kizaru, the man who moves at the speed of light, and a figure from the Straw Hats' darkest memories. He once hunted them at Sabaody. Now he returns, not just to crush a Yonko crew, but to eliminate the scientist who knows too much. But Kizaru isn't alone. Accompanying him is one of the Gorosei. The 5 elders themselves have stepped onto the battlefield. Saint J. Garcia Saturn, a shadowy, monstrous figure of immense authority, arrives aboard Kizaru's ship. This marks the first time in One Piece history that a member of the world government's highest echelon takes direct part in a conflict. Whatever Vegapunk has uncovered, it's shaking the world to its core. Back on Egghead, the battlefield is chaos. Luffy's battle with Rob Lucci wages on, showcasing the awe-inspiring powers of Gear 5, his awakened mythical Zoan form that blurs the line between logic and imagination. He twists the ground like rubber, inflates his body to cartoonish proportions, and fights with a freedom that defies the laws of physics. The Straw Hats are stunned. Vegapunk is fascinated. Lucci? Helpless. Meanwhile, Zoro clashes with Kaku, sword against sword, while Sanji, Frankie, and Usopp scramble to protect the satellites and assist Bonney, who still clutches the memory bubble of her father, Bartholomew Kuma. But Bonney is no longer alone. In the Holy Land of Mary Geois, Kuma himself stirs. Though broken and enslaved, his body twitches and then moves. Against all logic, all programming, Kuma begins a desperate self-propelled march. He's breaking through walls, ignoring the commands of the celestial dragons. He's heading somewhere, back to Egghead. Why? What is calling him back? Is it Bonney? Vegapunk? Or something else entirely buried deep within his shattered consciousness? The moment Kizaru lands, everything shifts. Light explodes. Within seconds, dozens of Egghead's robotic defenses are neutralized. Kizaru phases through solid matter, launches precision laser strikes, and showcases why he is feared across the seas. But his heart wavers. He was once friends with Vegapunk. He didn't come here to kill a comrade. Still, orders are orders. But Vegapunk isn't going down without a plan. Using his tech, he initiates a massive evacuation protocol, asking the Straw Hats to help him escape. Not just for his own survival, but to reveal the truth to the world. The ancient knowledge, the void century, the real history, everything the government wants buried, Vegapunk is ready to expose. And in the shadows of the lab, York, one of Vegapunk's own satellites, moves suspiciously. A traitor may be among them. The stage is set. The battle for Egghead has only just begun. Stay tuned for Part 5, where we explore Kuma's origin, the shocking betrayal within Vegapunk's circle, and the beginning of a global upheaval. Only on Everythingin1, where the past, present, and future of One Piece collide over Egghead are torn by laser beams and explosions. A deeper, more heartbreaking storm brews within the lab itself. A storm made of memory, betrayal, and pain. Jewelry Bonney, still desperate for answers, finally unlocks the mysterious memory bubble left behind by her father, Bartholomew Kuma. What she sees is not power or politics, it's something far more devastating: a child's pain, a slave's agony, and a father's sacrifice. Kuma, once believed to be a brutal revolutionary or emotionless warlord, is revealed to be a kind and deeply loving man, born into unimaginable suffering. As a child, he was a victim of celestial dragon cruelty, enslaved and beaten until his will nearly broke. Yet through it all, he held on to a single light: freedom, not for himself, but for others. We learn that Kuma was a member of the Buccaneer race, a powerful and mysterious lineage that the world government fears. His very existence was seen as a threat, and when he joined Dragon's Revolutionary Army, he didn't do it for power or glory. He did it to fight a system that destroyed countless lives like his. So why did he willingly become a warlord and allow Dr. Vegapunk to erase his mind? Because he made a deal with the devil to protect someone, Bonney, his daughter. The government held her life in its hands, and Kuma, despite his monstrous strength, chose submission to ensure her survival. Every modification, every command he followed without resistance was out of pure fatherly love. He walked into oblivion willingly, so she could walk free. Bonney breaks down. Her rage turns into sorrow, and in that moment, something shifts deep within her. She's no longer here for vengeance. She's here to carry her father's truth. But before she can act, another truth is revealed, and it's poisonous. One of Vegapunk's own, the satellite named York, reveals herself as the traitor. The satellite of greed, York desires to become a celestial dragon. Tired of living in the shadow of intellect and invention, she betrays the very system that birthed her. She's the one who called CP0. She's the one who wants Vegapunk dead. Why? Because she wants Egghead Island for herself. She wants the power, the lineage, and the safety of the elite. She doesn't care about science. She wants to be a god. The Straw Hats are stunned. The satellites are devastated. Vegapunk is furious, but not surprised. He always feared one of them might go rogue, but he didn't expect the betrayal to cut so deep. As York prepares to activate Egghead's ultimate failsafe, a weapon powerful enough to wipe out everything on the island, Luffy and his crew realize the fight is no longer just about survival. It's about protecting truth from extinction. At the same time, across the world, something stirs. The Revolutionary Army hears of Kuma's reactivation. Dragon, leader of the revolution and Luffy's own father, begins mobilizing. War isn't coming, it's already begun. In Part 6, the final defenses of Egghead fall. The revolution catches fire across the seas, and Luffy's path collides with the will of the world itself. Stay locked in with Everythingin1 as we head into the most explosive chapter yet. Part 6, the Egghead Incident begins when gods and emperors collide. The world is watching. Egghead Island has become the stage for a battle that will go down in history, not just as a skirmish, but as the beginning of something far greater. Something uncontrollable. With York's betrayal fully revealed, the lab goes into critical lockdown. She initiates the self-destruct protocol, threatening to vaporize not just the research, but everyone on the island, including herself, just to ensure her place among the celestial elite. But Vegapunk still has a contingency, a hidden escape route beneath the island, only accessible if all his remaining satellites and his main body survive. The Straw Hats, already stretched thin, now have to fight on two fronts: protect Vegapunk from Kizaru and CP0 above, and stop York and her overrides below. Every second counts. Meanwhile, the skies above Egghead burn brighter than ever. Admiral Kizaru, wielding the terrifying speed and precision of his Pika Pika no Mi, has entered full combat mode. And his opponent is none other than Monkey D. Luffy, now fully embracing his role as an Emperor of the Sea. The clash is monumental. Luffy's Gear 5 form, chaotic, rubbery, absurd yet divine, transforms the battlefield into a surreal, cartoon-like landscape of unpredictability. Kizaru, who once overwhelmed the entire pre-time skip crew alone, is now pushed back by Luffy's awakened power. But he doesn't falter. He is light incarnate, fast, relentless, merciless. The entire island trembles as their blows shatter the laws of physics. Elsewhere, Zoro continues his battle with the awakened Kaku, while Sanji intercepts York's control room, trying to shut down the self-destruct and save the satellites. Frankie, Robin, and Chopper escort Vegapunk's fragile main body toward the underground escape, dodging lasers, explosions, and betrayal at every turn. And amidst all this chaos, a massive force is approaching from the sea, the Marine Fleet. Led by Fleet Admiral Sakazuki's direct orders, hundreds of battleships close in around Egghead. This isn't an arrest, it's an extermination. The world government is prepared to obliterate an entire island just to keep Vegapunk's discoveries buried. And then, the spark hits the powder. In the holy land of Mary Geoise, the Revolutionary Army declares open resistance against the world government. Sabo, bearing the truth of Imu-sama's existence and the destruction of the Lulusia kingdom, spreads the word to the world. The flames of insurrection begin to rise. At the same time, the world's major powers, the Blackbeard pirates, Shanks, Cross Guild, and others, begin to move, sensing that the old order is breaking down. The balance of power that kept the seas stable for decades is now in chaos. And back on Egghead, Bartholomew Kuma, against all odds, finally arrives. A broken man, driven only by his final programming and a father's love. His body moves automatically, but his presence changes everything. The once mindless war machine now stands between Bonney and death, protecting her with sheer instinct. This moment, this convergence of power, science, family, and rebellion, becomes known as the beginning of the Egghead Incident, a moment that will shake the world. In Part 7, the final act begins. The escape, the fallout, the revelation. The Egghead Incident reaches its tipping point. As war rages across the island, the final countdown begins. The Straw Hat Pirates, exhausted but defiant, race to execute Vegapunk's escape plan. The situation is dire. Kizaru is still on the rampage. Saturn, a Gorosei member, lurks with powers that defy logic, and York's trap is seconds away from destroying everything. But this is where the Straw Hats shine best, under impossible odds. Luffy, in his Gear 5 form, faces off against Kizaru in a mind-bending brawl that looks like it came from another dimension. Rubber and light clash again and again, warping the battlefield. Every hit shakes the island. But Luffy's unrelenting spirit, backed by his role as an emperor and protector of his crew, slowly pushes Kizaru back. Meanwhile, Bonney finally confronts Saturn, the celestial dragon who ordered her father's suffering. But just as she's about to fall, Kuma arrives. Though nearly dead, his body protects Bonney from Saturn's monstrous power, and in a last painful flash, Kuma's memories reactivate. He remembers everything: his time as a king, a revolutionary, a slave, a father. In a soul-shaking moment, Kuma attacks Saturn, an act of divine rebellion that leaves even the Gorosei stunned. Though severely outmatched, his love for Bonney fuels one final devastating strike. He collapses, but not before saving his daughter's life, again. Down in the lab, Vegapunk finally transmits the truth. Despite York's sabotage, the brilliant scientist manages to send a massive data burst out into the world, revealing secrets of the Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, and the existence of Joy Boy. The world government's greatest fear becomes reality. The truth cannot be silenced. The escape sub, led by Frankie, Sanji, and Robin, punches through the ocean floor using ancient tech left behind by the Old Kingdom. Vegapunk, or what remains of him, is aboard, injured, shaken, but victorious in spirit. As the Straw Hats regroup and flee, Luffy unleashes one final move, creating a massive distraction that allows the Thousand Sunny to launch from Egghead's coast. With Vegapunk's allies, Bonney, and the satellites aboard, the crew escapes into the chaos of the open sea. And then, it happens. The Marines and the Gorosei level the island. Egghead is wiped from the map, just like Lulusia. But the truth is already out. Across the world, people watch in disbelief as Vegapunk's message plays, shaking foundations of nations, religions, and empires. The world government scrambles for control, but it's too late. Pandora's box has been opened. This moment becomes the modern Ohara, but instead of being forgotten, it becomes a catalyst. The world is no longer under control, and the Straw Hats? They sail into legend, fugitives, heroes, and symbols of the coming storm. The Egghead Incident, as history will later call it, marks the beginning of the Final Saga. The truth is free, the seas are boiling, and nothing will ever be the same. Thank you for riding through the Egghead Arc with Everything in One, where anime meets insight and legends are retold